Hello, my name is Ezra. Welcome to the channel. I am what I like to call myself a mental architect. I like to challenge the status quo and what we as people perceive as normal. This is the start of what I'm going to call the Oxymoron series. In today's episode, the first episode, I will be discussing my current beliefs on the dangers of safety. To begin, I would like to ask a simple question. Is safety a good thing? I believe the majority of us, myself included, if asked that question out of the blue, I would think we'd all answer yes. It is a good thing to be safe. No one likes to be in danger. Nobody likes that feeling. If you answered yes, my follow-up question would be this. What is it good to be safe from? Most people, I believe, would answer with one word, danger. So we must discuss what we believe danger to be. I believe that the definition of danger is going to vastly vary depending on who you ask. Everybody's different. We all came from different backgrounds. If you ask someone like myself, I grew up in a small town and in a Christian home. My answer is going to look a lot different than asking somebody who may have grown up in a third world country. So for the sake of conversation, let's keep the discussion within the limits of the United States. I believe most people's answer to what danger is would consist of a few answers. Most people, I believe, would answer in the same way I do. I believe danger is the potential threat to my physical well-being. I think other people may answer in a different way. For instance, especially with it being a hot topic right now, AI. AI has the potential to take a lot of people's jobs and livelihood away. To a lot of people, that is dangerous. I believe there are many forms of danger. It just, again, totally depends on what kind of frame of mind you're in, what you grew up with, things of that nature. But let's go to the internet. So the true definition of danger, according to Google, is this: the possibility of suffering harm or injury. When I read this definition, the three words that stand out to me are possibility of harm. The reason these three words stick out to me is because danger is no guarantee of something negative. That's why it says possibility. The other reason it sticks out to me is because it says harm. Harm, in my opinion, is a sticky word. Harm could be seen in so many different ways. I would argue that most things that harm us as people are things that we can avoid. To name a few: unhealthy food, vaping, drinking alcohol, consuming too much internet, listening to music that is too loud, etc. These are things that harm us. But at the same time, these are all personal decisions and things that we can avoid. But where else can harm come from? Is there certain harm that cannot be avoided? I think that really comes down to the people around us. Harm most certainly can come from other people. Here are some examples of that. I missed my exit because someone wouldn't let me over, and now I've lost time because I was rerouted. I was breathing in cigarette smoke because someone was smoking close or next to me. I received a personal injury because my friend did not see the deer on the road when I was riding with him while he was driving. I'm sure we could all think of a million different things that we have all been harmed by in a way that we could have made it safer. In each example that I made, food, vaping, driving, media, etc., they all have been made safer in different ways. So let's take a look at these. So firstly, food. Food here in the United States has been regulated by the FDA. For those of you who don't know, that's the Food and Drug Administration. Vaping/smoking, it has also been regulated by the FDA. It's safe to assume that anything we consume or put into our body is going to be regulated by the FDA, for the most part. Not everything, but for the most part. Driving has been made safer by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, and now media. So media is kind of a sticky one, but media is overseen and lightly regulated by the Federal Communications Commission. This is the FCC. I'm not going to get political here, so I'm just going to move on from that. But in each of these examples, all things in our daily life, eating/consuming, driving, and media have all been made safer by our governing authorities. The FDA makes sure that corporations are not putting anything toxic or harmful into our foods. The NHTSA makes sure that our roads are designed, built, and maintained in a safe manner. And finally, the FCC makes sure that people are kept safe from certain types of media, I'll say. We may be able to look at each of these examples and think, well, this makes it safer. Where is the danger? And here is my answer. We are in danger of losing our freedoms. Naturally, the next question would be, what freedoms are we in danger of losing? We can already take a look at the rules and regulations in place, and I can tell you several examples of freedoms that we are losing. Once regulations are placed on certain things, we start losing the freedom of choice. For example, dairy farmers are regulated to do certain things in their pasteurizing processes to ensure that milk is safe for consumption for us all. Now, on the outside, this may sound like a good thing. Like you, I also thought this was a good thing until I had a glass of raw, unpasteurized milk. Oh my gosh. Once I had that glass of milk, drinking milk from the store was no longer the same. I could tell that natural properties had been stripped of the milk. I still drink store-bought milk. Don't think that's like I'm not saying I don't drink milk from the store. I do. I still enjoy a glass of milk from the store. It's just different. But continuing on. Now, you may think to yourself, but is pasteurizing the milk and losing some of the properties not a worthy sacrifice to make sure milk is safe for everyone to drink? Now, here's where we can find common ground. I believe that pasteurizing milk and killing certain things within it to make it safer for some people to drink is completely fine. I would even encourage it. However, in my current opinion, it is completely wrong that we take away the choice of being able to buy raw milk from dairy farmers. It would save on costs from the farmer having to process his milk through certain pieces of equipment and save him on time. In turn, this farmer should be able to sell his milk at a lower price point and still make a profit. This little disclaimer here, I don't have any hard proof for this, but I was using my deducing skills, and having had a raw glass of milk, I just wanted to bring it up. So an example, might not be completely foolproof, but just bear with me here. But yeah, it would give me the option to buy very vitamin-rich raw milk, but you could get sick, one might say. And to that I say, and whose fault would that be? The simple answer to this question has become incredibly foggy in our confusing world. I think most people today would blame the farmer for selling unsafe milk. However, was it not I who decided that I wanted to drink that unsafe milk? I should have the freedom to put myself in danger while also drinking a much more nutrient-rich glass of milk. The responsibility needs to fall on the individual, me. I chose to drink that glass of milk. I chose to put myself in that position knowing the risk of getting sick was higher. In the same way that if I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, I understand the health risks. As certain rules, regulations, and laws are put into place, the consequence that we suffer is losing certain freedoms. They may be small in nature to begin, but it is a snowball effect. What will be the next big issue? What will be the next unsafe thing that needs to be dealt with? How much farther must it go until we are living the life of a robot because we no longer have the freedom to go to the park, take a drive in the car, go out to the store? How much longer until it is no longer safe to drive because of the possibility of getting into an accident? How much longer until we are no longer allowed to go to a store and must order things online because of the possibility of getting one another sick? How much longer until we are no longer allowed to search things on the internet because of the dangers of things on the web? How much longer until we are no longer allowed to raise our own children because of the danger they may be in because of certain ideologies the parents have? I know these things get increasingly more insane, but it was not so long ago that it seemed insane that we would ever be forced to wear our seatbelts. In my current opinion, safety is a personal responsibility. You and you alone are responsible for you. Me and me alone are responsible for me. I know that was incorrect grammar, but just for sake of conversation here, bear with me. The sooner that we take up that mindset, the idea that we are responsible for our own safety and our own actions and things of that nature, the sooner things will naturally become safer, because we are now aware that no one else is responsible for caring for us other than us. If you have made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. If you are upset or even angry about something I said, that actually makes me happy. I'm glad. Not for the reason that you're mad, but it means that a belief of yours is being challenged. Challenging one another's beliefs is how I believe to be the best way to avoid true physical conflict. I would love to know what your opinions are and discuss these things in the comments. If you learned anything, started thinking, had a belief challenged, or just felt encouraged, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. I'm a small YouTube channel doing what I can to make good quality content. Be the light in this dark world. It is a dark world. Make somebody's day. I love you all. Peace.